Viewers like you make this program possible. Support your local PBS station.
The following program contains strobing effects with brief sequences of flashing lights.
Playing with rocks on the res leads to searching for life on Mars.
I can come home and I can find myself in a place that's very much like Mars.
Ancient drum beats top the hip-hop charts.
My name is Toolman and we are the Hallucination!
And TPs inspire a whole new way of building.
We're gonna help their dreams for the future come true.
Go!
For these native leaders, the past is the key to building a better future. This is Native America.
We are 1 minute on entry interface.
February 18th, 2021. The Perseverance rover lands on Mars.
Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars.
We send Perseverance to Mars in order to collect rock cores to look for signs of ancient microbial life. And this is actually the star of the show. This is our coring bit. We drill into a rock, we break it off from the parent rock material, extract that, ingest into the tube, and then we can take that and store it back inside the rover. We eventually want to bring these samples back to Earth and study them here to look for signs of ancient microbial life.
Aaron Yazzie is a NASA aerospace engineer.
This was just used maybe
He leads the team that created the tools critical to the rover's mission. The drill bits digging into the planet to search for signs of life.
We're looking in this area on Mars called Jezero Crater, and it's been split up into a bunch of quadrants, and each of these quadrants is named after a different national park around the world. The Perseverance rover could have landed in any one of these quadrants, but it just so happened that on landing day, our rover landed right in the middle of this one right here, named after Canada Shea National Monument. Canada Shea is in the middle of the Navajo Nation in Arizona. And it's actually a very important canyon to me as a Navajo engineer and my people. We believe in a concept of Hajon, which is living a life of balance. And that's the way that you ensure that you're remaining steady and remaining grounded and ensuring that you can remain protected as you travel through life. I go home as much as possible to make sure that I still have that cultural connection. But also just being on the land, being in a place where our people have been for many, many generations is also healing.
Long before Aaron Yazzie set his sights on Mars, Native Americans have been imagining, designing, and engineering new ways of living in the world.
Our ancestors built remarkable structures. They used scientific methodology, they used mathematics in their own way to develop and build these structures. So it's inherent to who we are as Native people that, hey, we can do this.
Now, 21st century Native leaders continue to carry forward thousands of years of indigenous knowledge to create a better future on this and other planets.
Perseverance continues to report heartbeat tones indicating everything is nominal.
Gwejiji tuan tama goji beji, gwejiji tunch tama eliain.
Aho, Tiikje, the dwelling of the ancestors. This is the way that the ancestors move forward on the plains, migrating with the buffalo. This is the old way of living. Each one of the poles represents life as well. Nations, generations, all the stakes is grounded to the Mother Earth. Totally grounded. The special tie up there, that special tie is so solid, there's no way that it's gonna come apart from the winds or from the weather. It stands solid and strong.
Henry Red Cloud is a fifth-generation direct descendant of Chief Red Cloud, Mahpialuta. Chief Red Cloud was one of the last Lakota war chiefs. In the early 1800s, Lakota territory spanned the high plains of what is today Montana, Wyoming, Nebraska, and the Dakotas. It is near Little Bighorn, where Lakota and other warriors defeated General Custer in 1876. Their territory also includes Wounded Knee, where an estimated 250 Lakota men, women, and children were massacred by U.S. troops in 1890. Soon after, the Lakota people were forced onto the Pine Ridge Reservation. Today, it's one of the poorest places in the country.
We're gonna step up as 21st century warriors, and we're gonna help dreams for the future come true. So I'm really happy to stand here before you guys. I'm gonna smudge the foundation, and then I'm gonna smudge everybody here.
Like his ancestor, Chief Red Cloud, Henry is also waging war, but on a different front. His is a battle to build a better future for his people.
Here within the homeland, we need 4,000 homes today. Within a 4-bedroom house, there'll be, 30 people. As you ride across Indian country here, you see a lot of 1970 mobile homes. 2-inch thick wall and not too much insulation, pretty much a tin box. It gets brutally cold here. This past winter, we had a minus 26 air temp. The wind began to blow, and then it took it to minus 40. It's not a surprise to hear somebody freezing to death. We're gonna put it up Lakota style. We're gonna put up this teepee structure that way. 2 poles on the east side laying out towards the south, and then 2 on the west side. Gonna bring the tips together. We'll tie it there. Then the rest of us will walk it up. Okay, that's not going anywhere. All right. Let's do it.
The poles, based on a traditional teepee, formed the structure to lift into place an entirely new kind of home.
Back up a little bit, just straight back at him. Go ahead, set it down there.
Henry's mission is a magnet that attracts innovative builders, Aaron Resnick and Jason Mackey.
Initially, Henry asked us when we came out here to the reservation the first time and we saw the housing problem. He said, I need something that someone can survive the winter in for less than $20,000. All right.
I like it.
So we said, okay, we'll try, but that sounds like a challenge.
We sat down one evening to look at what would be the best here, low cost with high efficiency, and they came up with this new technique, foamcrete.
There is a pretty unique material. It's called cellular concrete, or on the internet, it's often called foamcrete or aircrete.
It's 80% air, it's just full of all these little bubbles. And so that's the property that makes it super, super insulating. So, you know, you can survive minus 40-degree temperatures.
We built two in the past. We built one, failed on us, but lessons learned. So we went back to the drawing board. And then we built one last year.
Henry's first shot failed. The second stood, but was too small. As his latest design begins to take shape, he remains convinced this home could transform not only Pine Ridge, but many Native communities across Indian country.
The structure is taking the old way of the teepee and then incorporating it within this foamcrete. It actually looks like a teepee. Hey, we're gonna go face the door east as our ancestors did when they camped. So let me see here. Let me pull up my old Indian trick. Everybody carried one of these back in the day. We're gonna be able to step out, greet that morning sun, and then we'll have a walking path into the food right here. Awesome.
Unchi wicho oyake, lena sam unchi omankiake. Le mankau pashpe unkumshni hani. Khatranka pte tiikja tipi. Lena wanye tuchan o kalia he, na bloket tuchan o snia he. Akach behena uyu rampichan. Tiik jaya hena o homini ya wichoti. Lena he chel wichoti sam trankana. Hochoka el oyate ki wakran wa echumpi.
Aaron Yazzie is back home in the Navajo Nation. Though it may seem millions of miles from his work on Mars, Aaron sees it differently.
Looking around this beautiful landscape really feels like I'm in the middle of Mars. It seems so distant. It is a world away, right? But the forces that created this land are the same forces that created the landscapes that are on Mars. So I can come home and I can find myself in a place that's very much like Mars. I spent my whole childhood scurrying up and down rocks and sand dunes and canyons just like this. It's almost like muscle memory. And so I loved to look around and sort of gather inspiration from looking at my own homeland, looking at our own home planet for when I'm trying to send things to another terrestrial planet like Mars.
Erin Yazzie is visiting Navajo weavers Tanaba Natani and her mother, Sarah Natani. The knowledge of weaving has been passed down through generations, and with it, a deep understanding of mathematics.
The name of it is Bataka, which means crackers. Yeah, you know how saltine crackers are shaped like a rectangle? This pattern creates that checkerboard pattern.
That's cool.
This is a pattern that deities gave our people by way of our grandmothers and our grandfathers. And so this twill weave is a very powerful, sacred pattern.
And you said it was twill, so that's a slightly different style than...
It's like programming, computer programming. It's very specific in its count. You can kind of think of this bottom weave like arithmetic. And then as you progress, it gets more complex. So you graduate from arithmetic to algebra, to geometry, to trigonometry, to calculus, to probability and statistics. It's amazing when we think about our grandmothers and our grandfathers, how they had these numbering sequences in their mind.
Right. That's what I always see as what makes a good engineer, is somebody who likes to take on these really tough problems. And when you're done with it, it's very rewarding.
That's the exact feeling it is to be a weaver, whether you're weaving a twill weave or you're doing tapestry like Grandma's doing here.
Shamasana, did you teach Tanaba how to weave?
Oh, ultrade na luodo adon nahaliedo tode na nede isia ya naga epini na patahit oni ado atloslni akon deta altse han chad yehol
You want to try it?
Okay. All right, you have to remind me what sequence we were on.
Place that in there, yeah. Just go all the way. Yeah. And then get the black. A lot of the patterns have been developed already, and new patterns are developing based on the older patterns.
It's similar for us too. Like I don't usually have to come up with a completely original idea for the things that I'm building. There have been giant drilling assemblies that have gone to Mars before, and we used a lot of the things that they figured out while developing that drill for the drill that we sent on Perseverance. And so it's sort of this idea of borrowing off the knowledge of those that came before you, because we know that those ways are safe and they work. But also, like, it's all about adapting to new challenges.
The spirit of the past is being brought into the 21st century through the power of music.
With 5
deep, formless, spirit ginormous, like old growth in the forest that grew here before us. The bright light inside that matches our auras, phosphorescence, an array of auroras. For the love we fortify, so you're alright. Earth and sky have a brother spinning like a 45. This is not the end, it's the beginning. Make sure you're alive. Let the sound shake your vibrate your pound maker.
Bear Witness and Tim Toolman Hill are the duo behind The Hallucination, an electronic music group that puts a new spin on a traditional beat. Formerly A Tribe Called Red, they perform at venues as diverse as Coachella to TED Talks and have topped the electronic album charts multiple times.
When we first started, we were just DJs. And at the time, it was the mashup era of DJing. And we were in a rehearsal session for a big show that we had coming up. And we had a powwow loop from a grass dance song. And looped it, and he was like, oh, what's the BPM? Oh, it's at 140 BPM. Well, that's dubstep. So threw a dubstep instrumental underneath it, and the two things just clicked so perfectly right away. It was just like, oh yeah, of course these work. It's mixing dance music on dance music. We started this party for our community, but everybody showed up. We had people from all sorts of backgrounds on the dance floor. But at 1 a.m., we dropped that track. All the native people in the club would push their way to the front. Our people don't tend to take up a lot of space, right? 500 years of attempted genocide makes you take up a little less space in the world. Maybe not be seen so much, right? But all of a sudden, when we drop those songs, our people push their way to the front of the audience. They throw up their nation flag. They take up space. They act out that pride that they feel when they hear those beats.
I'm not an original member. I came in later. So when I would see these DJs that look like me playing, music, I've never seen it. I've never seen anything like it. It really puts things in perspective when you see someone that looks like you on stage presenting music, like really cool music, especially. It changed my life.
We've always called it a cultural continuance. We're taking not only the music, but the ideas. We're taking the values. Like all of those things are going in. We're not just cherry picking our culture for things that are shiny and nice to show people.
The Hallucinations music celebrates Native culture. It captures the party spirit, while at the same time confronting history and today's harsh realities. Across 326 reservations, almost a third of families live below the national poverty line. And Pine Ridge is the poorest.
Back in 1995, I felt a calling to return home. I missed the language, the ceremonies. So I returned and had one question for whoever I met, my relatives I haven't saw in years. I asked them, I said, if there was a wish that you can have, that can be granted magically to you right here now, what would that be? And it didn't take them long to answer. They said, I would like to get back to the old homestead where we coexisted with the earth. We were healthy, we were happy.
Henry Red Cloud is trying to make that wish come true. He's building new homes based on traditional circular designs, using a totally new material called aircrete.
Kick it in.
The mold for his prototype is almost complete.
Currently, we're putting up the frame. Okay. If it's all good, then the next phase is to pour the aircrete after that. We've been working in 106-degree weather. Everybody's pretty excited, wanting to see what this is going to look like and bringing this, concept forward.
Right now, we're gonna start pumping air pressure into it and see if we can get it up to where it needs to be. This is a scary part of the whole operation. Let's make sure the valves are all open.
Oh, this is great. The design of these foamcrete homes, they're circular, just like our ancestral teepees. Round is a whole lot better. A round structure doesn't have the corners for winter wind bellowing up against the corner of the house and making that corner cold. The energy within a round structure just feels so, comfortable, unique to the natives here.
This process is kind of it's a work in progress right now. This is our first time using a system like this, so there's a lot that we've learned.
These aircrete homes just take a matter of days to build because it's so easy to put together.
If you had enough guys, you could put 5 up and fill all 5 of them in a day and take them down and go to the next place.
Then we can build 25 homes a day. If you got 100 days a year, that's 2,500 homes. It can go up in a year potentially on a very conservative end.
What happened there? We're training these guys. So it's kind of taken a little bit, but that's okay because they're going to be the next teepee warriors.
Like on every reservation, the waiting lists are like thousands and thousands of people we can't get homes for. With these homes, we can put 2, 3 up a day.
Leo Lee Bear Sr. is a member of the Shoshone-Bannock tribe. He wants to take this technology back to his community.
Okay, take it that way.
If it works.
Awesome. Looks good.
The aircrete in the mold will take at least 14 hours to set. They won't know if the house will stand until the mold is removed.
It's looking good. A couple little leaks, but they stop.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But as long as they're little ones.
There's been a lot of sweat, a lot of good hard work put into this. We started with a prayer, and then everybody teamed up and worked together. Right now, as it's being filled, looking at it and that, my heart, my spirit tells me it's all going to be good.
Abina ko haa ako chichaga do nche do nanse adat bahke shandin be hotes husle. Kohod ego na shei betol ayo yet inle. Honch nage hollat abe na shei betol bekha instelne hojo ago. Na shei za ye hwe hosi go hui hilwo do hol ago hui holland o lech.
elevation, though.
Wow.
Wow, this is beautiful.
Beautiful.
I really love being back home and coming to this canyon.
This is the birthplace of our Navajo weaving. This is the home of Spider Woman. This is the home of Naishje Assan and Naishje Asteen. And those are the holy deities of our Navajo people. At the beginning of our existence, when we were created, this place was also created.
And Spider Woman, by bringing weaving to the Navajo people, brought not just that skill, but a lot of other teachings, values that we hand on to our younger generations.
Yes. And what's very important to know about this holy ground and the weaving that came to our people is it is not a legend and it's not a myth. It's in our daily lives as weavers and as Navajo people.
Dien dene na ashje asa ya ahona kande na hodich do khahotidili dedini. Digi at ego adilil edo bedo nida. Akko halayit ego adishlil nizengo yenesli do benatje ohotnil a. Na ashjei asa hajao yan sekis ado santo na hasan al adat ego johana yena kahiki yetnik o. Di bendache atlo ye na nestra.
For us to exist in a world like this is just a miracle. So much has to be perfect in order for life to thrive and exist, and it almost makes us feel like that much more of a miracle to understand all the conditions that have to be right. If we find life on Mars, it's going to teach us so much about our own existence, not only on this planet, but in this entire universe.
I decided I wanted to be a 21st century Lakota solar warrior. And so I did everything that I could under Ampetuwid Kawaniawaka, life-giving force, everything to learn about solar. Solar plays a huge role in our ancestral ways. You know, it's in our song, our dance, our language, our ceremonies. That's why I feel that it's really important that we as Lakota people start transitioning over into solar power, clean energy. Okay, champions, we're gonna finish out the day and we're gonna commission this grid tie system. We got one more panel that we're gonna install up here. So I need a couple of you to volunteer to get up there to put this panel on. Be careful up there. In 2008, we opened the doors to Red Cloud Renewable Energy Center. Over 1,200 students come through our program. Slide it to me a little bit. I think that's good right there. just the way you guys did it. They're actually getting in there and setting the panels, wiring them, then energizing the system so they know exactly what they're doing once they're out on the field. Slide it down real easy. And there you go. Perfect, guys. Grandma's going to be very happy that you guys are going to reduce her kilowatt usage by this here solar array.
My thought is, if you own your own land, why not get off the grid? There's no saying that they can come up to us and turn that switch off and cut our power off. Why not have our own power so when they turn that power off, we're still running. We're still running hard and they can't stop us because we're here to stay.
Back in pre-reservation days, they put us in these areas where it's windy and hot. 150 years later, here we are and we have a commodity. This is a new way of honoring the old way and then becoming sustainable. If I was born, 200 years ago, I'll be basically doing the same thing, bringing resources back, bringing up the quality of life. That's what a 21st century warrior, does.
Tell me where you wanna go. She said she don't wanna go. Ain't no rush and we can take it slow. Whoa. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We just arrived in Brooklyn, doing a show here tonight. We've helped in building community, but we're part of the wave, not leading it, We kind of react to where people are at.
Yeah, we throw up our light and then people will gather, but it's all existing community that's been here. What's great is that, sometimes like they'll live in a city like New York and they wouldn't have seen each other since the last time they came to, our show.
Microphone check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
And you want that in just your wedge, right?
Just my wedge, yeah.
Cool.
This whole thing started with that idea, right? Of let's make a space for urban indigenous people to gather. And the reaction from the community was, oh, you guys have started this thing? Now you can't stop it because you've filled a void.
All of our indigenous sisters out there, this one's for y'all.
Playing live music to people, that's part of the beauty of being a musician, right? Is that instant exchange of energy with people.
Our sets are never the same. They always change up.
Basically, I'm DJing, and then Tim's live sampling. So he's throwing in eagle cries and bomb effects. And then there's parts in the set where he'll actually completely take over and remix the song live. Throughout the set, I'm VJing as well. With the history that we've had here in the past 500 years, it's become really hard to want to share who we are. And the representation of indigenous people has always been through the lens of the other. We've never had control of our own image. So now, today, it's a new thing for us. It's a really new thing for us. You hear, got a native dude interviewing us for PBS, right? These aren't the things that were happening even 15 years ago, right? So it's about us taking that power for ourselves,
representing ourselves in the way we see ourselves.
The gods of my tribe have spoken. They have said, do not trust the pilgrims. And for all these reasons, I've decided to scalp you and burn your village to the ground.
These problems of colonialism have been going on for hundreds of years. There's that automatic anger and animosity that just exists. You know, you tap into it right away. And that's because of not having common experiences.
If you have any energy left in you, now is the time to get it out!
So when I look out at our show and see people from all different nations, all different backgrounds, they are feeling those beats. They're experiencing what we experienced. That's a common experience. Now we're starting to have the basis. We're starting to have the level ground where we can start to build the table to have the conversation.
Brooklyn, I want everybody's hands in the air! From the middle, left, right, let's go, get them up! Away! 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 Brooklyn, come on, away! 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 Brooklyn, baby!
The one on the left was taken on Mars, and the one on the right was taken by my brother of me standing in the painted desert near Tuba City, which is where I was born. But my story didn't start when I was born. It started so much farther before that. All of my ancestors, my relatives, my grandparents that came before me, they're the ones that showed generations of resilience and advancement, allowed me to come up in this platform and stand where I am and achieve what I have today. So those are my grandparents there on the top. All the things that I was taught growing up, how to respect elders, how to live in a community and work in a community, be useful, all of those types of values are things that I'm using in my day-to-day life at NASA. And I'm learning that the kind of leader that I'm becoming is kind of a unique type of leader. Somebody who can lead in a different way that isn't the loudest person in the room, that I can lead by example, the way that I was taught by my elders. And then we'll put it in its own storage location inside the rover.
At Cal Poly Pomona, Aaron Yazzie brings young members of ASIS, the American Indian Science and Engineering Society, to meet astronaut John Harrington, the first Native American in space.
When I was 8, I used to sit in a cardboard box and dream I was going to the moon. But I never thought it was something I could actually do. I dreamed about it, but it was not something I really pursued until much later in my career.
Go for main engines. And liftoff of Space Shuttle Endeavour, another building block.
20 years ago, I flew on the space shuttle to the International Space Station.
Why don't you do some work, Jack?
Got to hang outside, did 3 spacewalks. My high point of my professional career was flying to space. I have a flute and a feather that I flew in space. I like to use that feather to smudge, the idea of cleansing each of us before we get a chance to launch some rockets today.
Growing up on the Navajo Reservation area, I never would have thought that I would have ended up in a place like NASA. It's unreal. And I think part of that is because I didn't really see a lot of people from my community. I didn't really have an easy set of footsteps to follow.
First time I met Aaron, he was a sophomore in high school. Now he's been at JPL for 13 years. So that's super cool. Aaron, want to say anything at all?
No, I'm just so happy to be here. I feel like I'm like in between generations of influence. John Harrington, of course, was going on his missions when I was like in high school, and definitely was influenced by seeing him at ASIS and seeing what the capabilities are of Native Americans in the STEM fields. And so I went on from there and got my engineering degree, and here I am, following in his footsteps, working at NASA, and hopefully you guys will as well.
Okay, what's the other team?
I really hope that seeing people like me can really not only provide a path, but just inspire people to understand that just because you've never seen anybody do that before you, that doesn't mean that you can't be the one to do that.
I guess this is probably like stabilizers for the fins. This is great.
I was able to meet Aaron Yazzie, and that for me was very important. Not only is he indigenous, but he's in the field now, he's working there, so he knows the process of getting there, how difficult it is.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Attending this rocket launch is just amazing. Like, we're launching rockets with the actual astronauts here. It's so cool to meet them. I've heard so much about them. I'm meeting my heroes. I'm happy I got the opportunity to be accepted here, so I just couldn't miss it. Oh, that's cool.
The best thing about working with kids from ASIS is watching their eyes light up. You know, is watching them realize, oh, I can do that.
Wow.
You know, I can go down that path. I don't want to be the only Native American to fly in space. I'd love for other folks to follow along for sure.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lift off!
Ignition.
20 years after his mission, John's dream comes true. In October 2022, Nicole Mann became the first Native American woman in space. Back at Pine Ridge, Henry Red Cloud and crew removes a mold on the prototype Aircrete home.
It's the day that we've been waiting for. We've been working hard towards it, looking to this day, this moment. This morning I was out there looking at it and feeling on it and saying a prayer to Ampetui and giving thanks and saying, okay, now we're gonna move forward. Yeah, that's beautiful. Wow. Good job, guys.
To build one of these, it cost about what it costs for me to build a shed of comparable size in my backyard. And out of this, they're actually getting twice as much floor space when we put the second floor in.
My plans for the future is to build several of these in a circular fashion. Grandma's gonna have a place. Uncle, auntie, parents, children, grandchildren, so forth. Like, everybody's gonna have a place. Like the old way of, you know, setting up our camps, then everybody can meet within the center.
It took just 2 days and $7,000 to build this structure. Another $18,000 completes the interior and powers it with solar. If Henry can scale up, and he thinks he can, this home could transform life here at Pine Ridge and many other communities across Indian Country.
It's a good home. I am sold on these. Hopefully within time, I can implement this into our reservation.
This is about rebuilding, doing what we can as the land protectors, you know, Mother Earth, because that's who we are. We'd like to build 60 of these homes here and bring that vision, that hope, that dream of reestablishing, reconnecting with, coexisting with the earth again. That's hope, that's a vision, that's a life-changing game. Unifying the people, the generations, the different nations, respected nations, as well as the life here, the life within the center as we all emerge from there. This is the way that the ancestors lived, the Tiwahe, Washte. Mitakiapi, Chantewashte, the pages up below. I would like to see that we come together, take care of our prestigious Lakota territory. That way, our children, our great-grandchildren, are going to benefit from the decisions that we make today from this day forward. Aho, mitako ayase.
For Perseverance and the drill design team led by Aaron Yazzie, it may already be mission accomplished. The rover has found rocks that contain organic molecules, a possible sign of life. Future missions are planned to return these rocks to Earth and could pave the way for a manned mission to Mars. As humanity pushes into new territories and takes that leap of faith, what lessons will we carry forward into the future?
I'm very glad that a diverse set of people like me can be involved in this mission to help us ensure that we've learned from our past, to make sure that when we're sending people to Mars, that we do it in a way that aligns with our values, our native values. We understand the importance of the land, the natural forces that created us, that create the food that we eat, that help ensure that we can live this life here on Earth.
Native people are still here. We're scientists, we're engineers, we're doctors. We're not a stereotype from an 1890s Western. We are doing things to make a difference in this world.
Ajun na shado, walking in beauty. That philosophy encompasses many teachings to guide us to live in a harmonious way, being thankful and acknowledging who we are and our sacred footprints.
We're taking these steps. We're doing these things, taking the old way and recognizing that and merging it with the 21st century way and decolonizing ourselves in that process.
Gijiji tuan dama goji beji, gijiji tunch dama eliain.